All right, so here's my experience. Here's my backstory, actually, of why I decided to become the educator that I am. We have our license, so we all have to get our
Yep.
continuing education. So we all, and depending on what state you're in, you certain amount of hours per state and all that good stuff. So in Illinois, for example, you need 14 hours of continuing education. Now,
Every year?
every 2 years.
Okay.
Every 2 years, so 7 hours a year, not a big deal. If you go to one class every 6 months or 3 months, or yeah, if you go twice a year or three times a year, you're fine, right?
Right.
I go to a lot of classes because I have friends and they're like, oh, come take this class with me, and it's like, my joke is always, if I could sell my extra hours, I could retire right now. I have so many continuing education hours. I just like learning stuff. But here's the problem. When Before I decided to go full time into becoming a dedicated educator and all the different kinds of education that I do, the
Right.
cutting, coloring, and all the other stuff, I would sit there in a class and sometimes there would be the educator and the entire class was a 2 hour sales pitch for product. Didn't learn anything. And I would get really, really upset about that. Then I'd be in another class and they would have a power. And this is why you and I, like this is how I'm always complaining about PowerPoints. And I had great conversations with Jude because I never feel like PowerPoints, like my biggest fear about a PowerPoint is I've been in classes and they're just reading everything off the slide and the class doesn't move forward. It's just, here's the freaking PowerPoint, right? Well, then why do
Read
I
it.
need you? Why do I have to watch you for 2 hours?
Read to me like I'm in kindergarten.
Like I'm in
And then
kindergarten, like I can't read,
and then the
right?
PowerPoint doesn't work well unless they turn the lights off. So now we're in the dark. I really want to go to
And I
sleep.
really want to go to sleep.
I can't see the presenter. I'm just seeing a book on the wall that I could read, but
That's
somebody else is going to read it to me. I
And
hate
then
PowerPoint.
I've
They
seen this
can be
thing.
used well, just not usually.
Not usually. No, no, they can be used well and they're powerful and they have a purpose. I'm not saying I'm anti PowerPoint presentation. It's
Right.
just that it's executed so poorly majority of the time that it's terrible. It's painstaking. And then I just seen this post yesterday in one of the groups. The madam said that she spent $5,000 for some business education, something or other. And I'm reading through all the comments. To summarize, she spent a lot of money. She didn't feel like she got her money's worth out of the contract. And then I'm going through all the comments to see what other people are responding. And some people are saying, oh, you should have managed yourself better or whatever. Like some people just don't have good, positive, constructive feedback. But the few that did said, you know what? This is the problem. All these business people are not industry related. They're out of industry people. So then I start thinking back on it too. It's like some of the education in our industry is from hairdressers that are part-time educators. They're good behind the chair with their client in their own little pocket of their own little world. And great
Right.
for them. That's fantastic. But if you're not a little bit traveled or if you're unwilling to keep in mind that there is other regions that react differently, that do things differently, that look at trends differently, where becomes your ability to connect with everybody on a grander scale? And I got so frustrated that I'm like, you know what? I'm never getting hours ever again. I'm just going to pretend like I'm getting hours and renew my license. And then you get audited and then you have to show that you did actually go to class. Now you're sitting in class again. You're all, whatever. So the whole thing was I dedicated to becoming a full-time educator while still staying behind the chair. And because I'm mental and I don't like sleeping and I don't like resting for some reason, I don't know. But the point is, I start gathering all this new bits of information. And now every time we teach a class, like you just said, we pour our heart into it. We give too much information in our classes. We
Probably.
overload we overload people. And just like the comment that you got is, oh, I've been to classes before. I've been to a dozen classes before. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. Well, there is. Every day something new happens. And every day technology moves forward. And every day techniques merge and advance and evolve, you know? So if you're not willing to keep up with the times, and yeah, getting educated is a pain in the butt. And you do have to carve time out of your life and away from your family. And you got to sit there half a day or a full day when you'd rather be doing something else. Like here, I'd rather be laying down right now. I'd rather not be doing this stream today. I would rather have rescheduled it to tomorrow, right? But and I'm sure you feel the same.
Out. Yeah,
pretty worn
I'm
out.
so worn out from that last show. I wanted
Right?
to. I didn't get to sleep till after 2 last night. I'd like to have
But we
slept
got to
right
bring
on
the
till
energy.
noon.